Proposal this year by Tennessee Governor Bill Lee could radically change education across the volunteer state.
News 12's Nick Hill has how a controversial debate is only about to grow.
Some call them school vouchers. Others call it school choice. Those terms have different connotations depending on who you ask, but for Governor Lee and other state Republicans, they believe the Education Freedom Act is needed to ensure quality education moving forward.
They want government to tell you what's taught in school. They want you to tell you have to go to that school, that you can't leave that school. If you do, you can only leave if you can afford to leave. That doesn't sound American to me.
Tennessee House Speaker Cameron Sexton voiced his strong support for the Education Freedom Act announced this week by Governor Lee while visiting Chattanooga Thursday. The Education Freedom Act will provide school vouchers across the state for a predetermined amount of applicants. If passed, the program would begin in the 2024-25 year with 20,000 total scholarships. Many state Republicans have voiced their support for the governor's plan, but there has also been opposition. The Tennessee Education Association, which is the largest teachers union in the state of Tennessee, issued a statement condemning the proposal. In part, they said, quote, "Taking taxpayer dollars to fund private school tuition statewide would divert much-needed resources from our already underfunded public schools and threaten the strength of our Tennessee communities. Fewer students and less funding will put beloved neighborhood schools at risk for closure." End quote. The speaker says these concerns are unfounded.
This scholarship doesn't directly take money out because it's not part of the TISA funding. It's not within the K-12 funding. So there's no money following this kid in this scholarship. So from that standpoint, that's not accurate.
He argues critics are misunderstanding the point of the legislation.
People are looking at it from the standpoint of people leaving school systems. What this really is about parents having the capability of making the decision for their child that's best for them.
Another criticism that has been brought up is that students who are already in private schools could apply for these scholarships. The speaker says those critics aren't considering private school families who aren't wealthy.
You have parents right now who've already made the decision who are working a second job to pay for the private school. Maybe they mortgage their house to pay for the second school.
If this legislation were to pass, it would make Tennessee the 10th state in the country to adopt a statewide program of this type. Reporting, Nick Hill, News 12.